down. No, start over. Down, down, up, up.
Or we could just...
Yeah, we have two ways of syncing. For some reason, one of them is off. Like,
Which one?
No, like, syncing via this and syncing via clap, they're two different times. They're separate. There's a delay on one of them. Because I was syncing the most recent Higurashi video, and one of them I could not line up because of the other one. And I'm like, all right, we'll just do both and see which one. I think I'm gonna go with whichever one makes the lip movement, the lip sync better.
Mm-hmm. So you actually had to focus and like look at your lips while they moved?
No.
No?
No, I didn't have to focus at all. I'm like, am I talking when my mouth is not moving? No? Okay, let's do the other one. That's it. You make it seem a lot harder than what it is. It's not hard at all.
No, it's really hard.
Easy.
No, shh.
It's
like,
super easy. Dude,
it's hard.
It's the simplest thing.
It's hard, Blake.
It's the simplest thing.
Like, it's really hard.
No.
So load the game.
I
Or
could.
Novel.
No, it's a video game. It's very challenging, very difficult.
Very, very
About
difficult.
to fight a boss. You can't fight a boss with your fists.
Why not?
It's virtual. It's not real. You punch a hole through my screen.
Blake, you're ruining my whole life. I've always fought with my fists.
You can't.
Punching things and stuff.
I think of you less now.
Why?
I don't know, you just seems really uncool.
Wait, you thought I was cool before?
No. Never. But like you dropped even further. You dropped a level.
I was about here, like here's cool, here's me, and then I just kind of went down a little bit.
No, here's cool. You're down there somewhere. I'm slightly higher.
So you still look down upon me?
Yeah, I look down on your first level shit with my second level shit.
How long are we gonna talk?
Until I'm ready to start the video.
You got it?
7.5 minutes in, future me's gonna be like, alright, it's time to start. Welcome everyone to Higurashi When They Cry, Tatarigoroshi, and chapter 7 moving to chapter 8.
Going that chapters.
Alright, we apologize in advance afterwards for not having an episode last week. We were busy, the stuff
Doing
came
stuff.
up, heck, we couldn't record.
Yeah.
Alright, continuing.
Continue with that.
I think
voice.
we got some.
What happened last time?
We met people. We ran to familiar faces in familiar places.
Oh yeah, Takano and Tomoko.
Tomatake.
Tomoko. Tomoko.
The die of fate had been cast. Reporting to a public agency, which we'd kept being warned could instead result in something far worse for Satoko if we didn't have the evidence first. And just like that.
Oh right, Satoko wasn't there again, and they contacted the principal.
Had I failed, had I let my emotions get the better of me in that moment, maybe I should have stayed silent and left everything to Mio since she'd been relatively calm. Fucking music just keeps getting louder.
I wanna be sane!
I remembered the punishment game where we had to badmouth Curry, and how me saying anything would have made it worse. Satoko told us to leave the talking to her. Maybe it was the same thing here. I was impulsive, so maybe I should have just shut up and looked at the floor. But it was too late to lament it. The die I had thrown wouldn't be coming back into my hands. All we could do is pray for something good to happen. Kichi-kun, you did everything you could, so leave it to the teachers now, okay? Everything I could? If I really gave it everything I had, if I had really struggled, I would have dragged Satoko out of her home last night and hidden her in some abandoned house. I didn't, so that means I didn't do everything I could.
Stop thinking about it, alright? You're being a little too persistent, Keiichi-kun. At this rate, you'll collapse!
Just leave me alone. I left her with those words and stared lazily up at the ceiling. I wondered if I'd really got Chie-sensei to understand. Would the public agency intervene and solve everything within the day? Would they acknowledge the abuse and guarantee her safety? After lunch break, our afternoon classes were mostly self-study. The teacher came back to the classroom occasionally, but then the phone in the lounge would ring and she'd have a long conversation with the caller. Everyone in class got the feeling they knew what those phone calls were about. Sensei came trotting back from the classroom. I'm really sorry for all the phone calls recently. Let's call it a day. President, please lead the class. Everybody stand up. It looked at me like Sensei had been wearing a dark expression ever since after lunch break. It wasn't a very relieving expression. It wouldn't be. Even if Sensei 100% understood the situation and passionately explained it to the other person. At the end, the Child Consultation Center as a public agency would be the ones to decide whether to get her to safety. Sensei understood that as well as us. That's why she looked so unreliable right now. Kei-chan, let's go home. I don't think anyone feels like having the club today.
Mi-chan, it's no fun if someone's not here.
Reina was right. It's no fun for us if someone was missing. If the teacher's expression had shown more promise, then maybe we could have gone home more comfortably. But I couldn't let myself feel relieved. I couldn't be naive and tell myself all I can do is pray, now that the dice has been cast. Just in case, they didn't get her to safety and decided to wait and see again. I need to take further measures. We've asked the people who could do something official already. Then, there was one more place that was worth asking for help. She might laugh it off, or I might be right. I could be endangering my own life. But I'd try. Oh, Mion. Is it okay if I stop by your place today? You've got a lot of manga, right? I want to borrow a bunch of them. Huh? Sure, I guess. There was an ominous meaning behind my words, so Mion realized what I really meant right away. I wanted to talk about something alone. That's what I meant.
Mi-chan, Keiichi-kun, let's go home!
Reina already had her shoes on and was waving to us from the schoolyard. Well, gotta go fast!
Flying by.
Mion's house was gigantic in every way imaginable. The house itself was a vaguely old-fashioned traditional Japanese house, but the yard, I guess, or their plot of land, was enormous. It easily convinced me that they really were major landowners with Hinamizawa under the thumb. Drink real quick. I'm already thirsty. This is bad. Mion brought me through the guest room and a servant brought us some tea. Wow. You really are rich, huh? You even got housekeepers? Grandma and I are the only ones who live here. I wouldn't be able to do everything myself. The servant left, telling us it was 5 o'clock, then withdrew with soft footsteps. We have people come in to take care of Grandma and clean 2 or 3 times a week. They come in rotations of 3 or 4, so there's someone here almost every day. Only until evening, though. Oh, and if we're having a party or something where we need more help, we call up different people. If you have the money to hire all these people, then just take Satsuko in. I glared at her as I thought that, and Mion seemed to catch on immediately. Oh, sorry. It's fine. I know it's not a money problem. Just to be clear, my family may be rich, but it's not the money I can use freely for myself, okay? I don't want you to misunderstand that. Kinda looked like I was bullying her. Mion had been apologizing to me a lot lately. Was Mion the sort of person who would do that this much? Maybe it's just that I've been looking so grim lately. So, what's up? You had something to talk about, right? I have something pretty serious to discuss, Mion. This will be sudden, you might be surprised, but I want you to hear me out. Huh? What? I'll give you a way out first. Even if what I say is true, you don't need to admit it. You're allowed to play dumb. But I want you to listen until the end. I have something to say to the next leader of what's still the most important of the 3 families of Onikafuchi Village, Mion Sonozaki. Wow, this is pretty, sudden. At first, Mion looked like she had no idea what I was saying, but at hearing the whole sentence and putting it together, she reacted. Where did you hear that? It doesn't really matter. I definitely couldn't tell her who told me. Takano-san, you told me not to, but please forgive me. This was why I asked you about it after all. Right? Because we didn't know who Takano was talking about.
Yeah.
It cut away. And it's like, well, if it is Mion. God damn it, music, we're getting louder! I was surprised just that you'd heard of Onikafuchi Village, Kei-chan. But you seem to know a lot of things, both true and false, about me, too. Yeah, true and false. I really might just have the wrong impression here. But I'm okay with that, so listen. And if it really is true...
Oh no.
I don't know what you're getting at, Kei-chan, but let me say this beforehand. You've got a big misunderstanding. So if it were possible, I wouldn't want to hear what you're about to say. Because even if you said it, I can't do anything to help you. Still, if talking about it will lighten your burden even a little, I'll listen. I'm only just going to listen. Nothing more will happen. Are you okay with that? Yeah. Mion seemed to know what kind of thing I'd be talking about. She warned me that doing so would be fruitless. That much was obvious. If what I was going to say was true, then the Sonozaki family would be the masterminds behind the string of freak deaths that have been occurring every year in Namizawa. You know that stuff about Oishiro-sama's curse, right? Mion nodded a little.
It really wants you to feel it, Blake.
It really wants me to shut the fuck up! No one knows what it is or why it happens. Even if each incident is solved, the string of deaths and accidents as a whole is still a mystery. But there's one thing connecting them all. And that's how the targets are always enemies of the village. Seems like it. Mion spoke as if it didn't relate to her. That was fine. She didn't have to admit it. For now, I just wanted her to stay quiet and listen to me. The day after tomorrow, it's Watsunagashi, isn't it? Has the sacrifice for this year's curse been decided already? Mion didn't answer. Her expression remained the same, too. Like she said, she was just quietly listening. Sorry. The promise was that you just listened, so it's weird for me to ask you a question, huh? Mion gave me a look she'd never given me before, a faraway look, a sympathetic one. She didn't nod, she just smiled faintly and listened to me. If this year's curse isn't going to be on Satsuko's uncle, then please change it to him. I mean, last year was her aunt, right? It's in the right order, so it wouldn't be weird. You're right, it seems like there's an order. I mean, after her aunt died to the curse last year, he abandoned Satsuko and fled into the town for a whole year. Why wouldn't a guy like that definitely be next on Oyashiro-sama's list? There shouldn't be any issue with choosing him for this year. I see. If he were to die from the curse this year, no one would see anything unusual about it. I heard that Oyashiro-sama's curse is, well, no matter how I looked at it, I wasn't sure whether I should continue. No matter how I tried, the words wouldn't come out. string of freak deaths in Anamizawa, also called Oishiro-sama's curse, you're saying they're incidents perpetrated by the village, carried out by the three families of the Sonozaki's instructions. Is that it? I wasn't. I don't care one bit whether you have anything to do with it. I'm just saying. If you have any way of communicating with whoever decides the targets of the curse, then I just want you to tell them to choose Satsuko's uncle. Please. Everything you've been saying has been terrible. If the freak death incidents of Anamizawa were carried out by the will of the Sonozaki family, that would mean the main culprit would be me, wouldn't it? I would have chosen the target of the curse, given the instructions, killed many people, and gotten rid of others. You're calling me a murderer, Kei-chan. I didn't say that! Didn't you listen to me? I don't care whether you're the one behind the murders or not. I just don't. Even if you were the culprit, it doesn't change the fact that you're my friend. It doesn't matter at all. If the police were chasing you, I'd come to help. I'd make you an alibi and even help you escape. Because we're friends and comrades, aren't we? Mion looked surprised for a while. She was dumbfounded. Now you're declaring yourself complicit? Kei-chan, that's pretty bold of you. Come on, don't interrupt. Satsuko's uncle. Choose him for... Stop right there, Kei-chan. I want to start on dinner soon, so I'd like to leave things at this. Mion! I then realized that my cheeks were wet with tears. They slid down my chin and fell drip-drop to the tatami mat. Yeah. It's like I said at the start. You've got a big misunderstanding. Oishiro-sama's curse is just that. Even if there were people behind those incidents, they don't have anything to do with the Sonozaki family, or me either. Right. I understand that, it's just... It was touching to hear such a desperate plea, Kei-chan, but that's all it was. Even if I wanted to help, I can't. You understand that too, right? Yeah. But now I know how you feel so well it hurts. If I really were, like you said, the one controlling the three families and choosing the sacrifices every year, I'd probably grant your wish. Mion. But the reality is different. I'm just Mion Sonozaki. My family may be the subject of all sorts of bad rumors, but controlling Hanamizawa from the shadows. But we have nothing to do with the freak death incidents. We may have been a little extreme during the dam war, but that's all. We would never do something so insane as to kill people. Oh, really? I think the second part would back it different. Don't say such sad things. Right now, at least, I don't care. Why can't you just be nice and lie to me? Kei-chan, you're free to believe what you like. If I lied to you now, you'd be convinced Satsuko would be freed the night after tomorrow, and you'd be able to shed much of your burden. However, reality is harsh, and Satsuko's uncle will survive beyond that day. He'd still be alive the next week, and the week after that. You need to prepare yourself for that. I don't want you coming to me the day after Watsunogashi and demanding to know why he wasn't killed. Mion. Mion stood up slowly and closed the sliding door to keep out the wind that had grown chilly. Was it Mio-san? Did she give you all those ideas? She really likes to misunderstand things about Hanamizawa. Well, we can let her have her fun. But I don't really want her influencing you, Kei-chan. Jeez. This is why outsiders are no good. Takano-san has nothing to do with it. Right. Don't worry. Even though I know she told you about it, Kei-chan, nothing's going to happen. It's not like Mion-san will be chosen for this year's curse. Besides, we don't even know for sure if the curse will happen this year. Maybe it was just all a pile of unfortunate coincidences. Thanks for listening. If you aren't connected to the serial deaths at all, that must have been an uncomfortable conversation. I'll apologize for it. I see. You'll apologize for it.
Oh god. Oh god.
I don't like that. Mion said she didn't have much time, but she still brought me to the gate. She said she had a meeting or something today about Sunday's Tatarigoroshi festival, so there'd be a lot of people from the town council and the festival committee coming. Despite her day being so busy, she still listened to what I had to say. If there's a God in heaven, then he'd probably understand how strongly you feel. Yeah. I'm really sorry for being so weird today. You can pretend like this discussion never happened if you want. Okay. I'll forget about it. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. I'd really only spent a short time with Mion. Talking to her made me think. It was clear that what Takano-san had told me, at least, wasn't a complete fabrication. If Mion was really, really unconnected to the incidents, then she probably wouldn't have listened to me so quietly. She heard me out until I was done without making any quips, and I wanted to think that was proof. I did kind of feel like I was grasping at straws. Of course, thinking back on it, it was a terrible thing to discuss. I mean, I went to my friend's house, called her a serial murderer, and then told her to kill Asato's uncle. I was the only one talking that whole time. Mion quietly listened to everything I had to say like a pastor listening to a confession. She could have gotten angry partway through, told me off, and to go wash my face in miso soup and come back later. But she didn't. Was that proof that Mion's family, the Sonozaki, were the masterminds? Or was she just listening because she felt sorry for me going kind of crazy? I don't know which it was, but it was the one effort I could make at the moment. It was another form of insurance, should worse come to worse and the public agency decided to wait and see. It was a completely useless resistance, literally grasping at straws. Since I said that if she reported it to the Child Consultation Center, they'd have to respond on the same day. Could they already be in the middle of responding to it now? If Satoko came to school tomorrow morning all energetic, then everything would be just a needless fear. Why couldn't tomorrow come faster? That night was unusually hot and humid, and I couldn't get to sleep. I said all that to Sensei. They couldn't possibly decide to wait and see again this year. Satoko, what was it like for her tonight? She tasted the end of her nightmare, enjoying a night of liberation? I actually put my hands together and prayed into my futon. Only a day away from Tatarigoroshi.
Man, it's been so long though.
Good morning, Kiichi-kun!
Morning.
Thank goodness! I thought you'd overslept today too! Your mom said you'd gone on ahead yesterday and then you weren't at school. I was worried that you had gotten heat stroke halfway there.
Yeah, I'm very sorry for all the worry I caused you yesterday. Hey, good morning!
Mii-chan, good morning! Wow, you really stink of liquor! You'll get found out for sure!
Alright. Wasn't there a big business meeting with all the people in the town council yesterday? They only called it that. It was more like a party. We have the festival every year, right? We wouldn't have any annoying meetings at this point.
Are you going to help out with the festival this afternoon then?
Yep. I have to do a meet and greet with all sorts of people in Grandma's place. Besides, they already started setting up for the festival. Our morning conversation was lighthearted as usual. It looked like Mion had thankfully forgotten about how I'd barged into her house yesterday with that crazy talk. The more I think back on it, I felt like I'd really said something terrible to her. It was really thoughtless and would have been weird if she yelled at me. It was highly possible Takano-san exaggerated her story. I think that her comrade and friend Mion, the young leader of the Sonozakis, one of the three families effectively controlling Inamizawa, was pulling the strings behind the serial death incidents. It's a little unbelievable. But if there was even a 1% chance that it was true, then what I said yesterday to Mion might have been a success. Yes, it was no more than 1 in 100. But that little bit of effort might have brought the chances of saving Satoko up by even a tiny bit. At least I made that effort. After yesterday ended, I was sure I had done everything I possibly could. If there was something else I could do, it was probably just to clap my hands and pray that Satoko's uncle would be killed by the curse. I hope Satoko makes it today. Me too. Sensei's doing things for her, right? I'm sure it'll be fine. My aunt is a welfare agent in Hanami. I couldn't tell who was talking there.
It looks like...
It looks like Mion, by the way. She changed her posture, but it's a new quote.
Yeah.
My aunt is a welfare agent in the Namizawa district. I gave her a call last night.
Huh? I didn't know your aunt was on a what? Was a welfare officer? Huh? Oh, he's a welfare officer. Huh?
Sounds like the dub from freaking Ghost Stories.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sister was right. You are retarded.
What happened? Did you tell her about Satoko-chan?
Yep. She and Sensei called the Child Consultation Center right after we talked to her. A child welfare officer apparently visited before the night was over. My aunt said that they were going to pay visits at regular intervals from now on. Enough with the dumb little stuff. I want to know what happened to Satoko. They get her safe? My aunt wasn't that informed about it. I was supposed to keep this a secret anyway. They're telling me it was a big breach of ethics in the first place. Damn. That makes me feel even worse.
Let's go to school. Let's go already. Come on, we're gonna be late. We're gonna be late.
Right. Discussing this more would just make us feel worse. It was far quicker to go to school and see if Satoko was safe or not. 3 of us nodded and ran off. Was Satoko safe? What measures had the Child Consultation Center taken? I didn't care what, as long as we could go back to our peaceful life with Satoko today, it didn't matter to me. At the shoe racks of the entrance, Raina took a peek in Satoko's shoe cubby.
Ah! Satoko's shoes are here! They're here! Both of them!
Yay!
Kei-chan, Satoko came. Thank goodness!
Uh-oh.
We don't know if anything happened just because she came to school. Can't know anything until we see her face. We trotted towards the classroom. The classroom was lively as it usually was in the morning. Satoko! Where are you? Meet. She's right here.
Oh.
It's too early in the morning to be so loud. Would you please keep it down a bit?
Satoko-chan! Are you okay?
All our friends crowded around Satoko excitedly. The probation officer came, right? How did it go? Who was it that called them? I swear, it was quite a mess, you know? It was the teacher. You were absent for so long, so of course she was worried. Satoko said, I told you I'm fine under her breath. She was still trying to overcome all the suffering on her own. He was a big brother to both me and my uncle. I cannot talk today. That person just barged on in on us suddenly. Jeez.
Everyone was worried about you, Satoko. Don't say it was a bother.
Ah, jeez. Anyway, what happened? Nothing happened. My cold got better, so I came back to school, that's all. I can't take too much time off from now on because then you'll all worry about me. What was Satoko saying?
What happened to, your uncle?
Oh, he admitted there were some misunderstandings and we both apologized. Tug. Rika-chan grabbed the back of my collar and pulled me away. What is it, Rika-chan? Riki-chan silently dragged me all the way into the hallway. Riki-chan, what did that mean? Satoko said nothing was happening and chased them away. That idiot! But why? Oh, somewhere in my mind, I thought it might turn out like this. Satoko didn't ask for anyone's help. She didn't hide behind anyone. She was trying to ride out this pain. She wanted to show Satoshi proof that if he came back to them, she wouldn't need to hide behind him anymore. But Coach said probation officers can bring her to safety in an emergency, even if it's against her wishes. However much Satsuko denies the abuse, it's a fact. Chiyo-sensei finally came. Her expression was far from cheerful. Yes, you're right, Marabara-kun. If the child welfare officer determines that it's an emergency, they'd have the right to immediately take them to safety, regardless of the affected party's intent. Then why? Why is Satsuko's intent being respected so much? It's weird! Why don't they put her into safety? Well, after the person in charge of the Child Consultation Center looked into it from many angles, they determined... What the hell is that? Sensei, didn't you say it was gonna be alright since you definitely save her? What's the meaning of this? This doesn't make any sense. Answer me, damn it! Keiichi, this is actually the third time someone has reported Satoko's child abuse. It happened twice in the past, too. Furude-san? Sensei tried to stop her, but Rika-chan went on speaking anyway. Twice before? Or they decided to wait and see after reporting it the winter before last, but it happened before then, too? Satsuko's father, who died, wasn't her real father. What?
Whoa.
Rika-chan, that's... What? I'm stunned at the sudden revelation. I had no idea what Rika-chan wanted to tell me, but it seemed really important, so I couldn't get a word in either. Satsuko's mother remarried. She brought Satsuko and Satoshi with her, so they weren't related by blood to their father. Satoshi was a good kid, one who listened politely to what adults told him. Immediately welcomed by their new father, was loved. But Satsuko was different. She was rebellious, she told lies, she played pranks. Her stepfather didn't like her at all. What? So what do you mean? Even before she was given to their uncle and his wife, Satsuko didn't have a very good relationship with her family. Of course, her stepfather didn't have any malicious intent at the start. At first, he must have worked hard to get his new daughter to accept him. But the young Satsuko didn't make any effort at all towards that end. She was distant towards her stepfather and never opened her heart to him even a little. She just got on his nerves all the time, with seemingly forced lies and pranks. Her father's discipline and punishment must have been loving at first, of course, but that too faded quickly. I don't know because I wasn't in Hanamizawa at the time, but I learned this on the phone yesterday. What story did you hear, Sensei? That Satsuko-chan wanted to trick her parents, especially her stepfather, so she inflicted wounds on herself so she could make up a false story about abuse. That she sent out an SOS herself. She made up a story about hurting herself? Satsuko made a fake phone call to try to get rid of the father she hated. Child welfare officers rushed there and heard the story. The father genuinely apologized for a few times when he had gone too far and agreed to let the child welfare center give him coaching. Related agencies looked into it quite a bit. They determined that Satoko-chan and her stepfather's hearts not being quite matched up was the cause of the incident. But they found another problem above that, with Satsuko-chan. Problem with Satsuko? What was it? Satsuko's mother, there was a few times where she had lived with de facto husbands, though those relationships didn't result in remarriage. From a young age, Satsuko had been forced to call at least 2 or 3 people her father. At some point, Satsuko's pranks escalated. She would spill food on purpose, turn over her plate, and even throw it. She would break the windows in the neighborhood and shoplift candy. She would put thumbtacks everywhere and set other traps to seriously hurt people. Not in the way she did now, just to get laughs. She was also fond of telling lies that would be found out right away. People got mad at her every time. She never, ever changed her behavior. Please don't think Satoko-chan was a problem child. Satoko-chan was young, and it was an act of self-defense that she had to take against the unknown men her mother had chosen. In regards to Satoko's problematic behavior, child psychology experts from public institutions indicated her actions were to draw her mother's attention to herself. They acknowledged that she had a form of harmful emotional trauma and declared that she needed counseling and therapy from professionals. They didn't know whether that therapy had healed the wounds in her heart. Satoko-chan purposely hurt herself and told them that she was being abused by her stepfather in an attempt to chase him out. But, in the end, her stepfather did abuse her, right? No. All of the abuse had been made up by Satoko-chan. Her stepfather, of course, may have scolded her in a somewhat emotional way, but it was nothing out of the ordinary. Satoko had lied to chase away her stepfather. And they saw through her right away and found out that Satoko had issues. Oh. Could it be that's why the winter before last they decided to wait and see? Yes. The Child Consultation Center had all their past records, so they needed to act carefully in case Satoko was lying. What the hell? So what? Satoko might be telling a lie, so they needed to be careful. So how does that mean they just end up waiting and seeing? It was the girl who cried wolf. That fable about telling a lie once, making others unwilling to believe you later. That's bullshit! The past has nothing to do with this, does it? Only what's really happening right now is important. Satoko was being abused by her uncle. Why is something that happened in the past getting in the way of helping her now? Neither Sensei nor Rika-chan had anything to say to that. Anyway, yesterday, a probation officer visited to carefully determine what was going on. And Satoko dealt with them, put on the best, strongest smile she could manage and denied the abuse. Of course, she was probably being threatened to keep quiet about it by her uncle. Satoko was trying to outlast everything without asking for her help. Satoko wanted to wait for Satoshi to come back home. She outright denied the truth of the abuse. What an idiot. What? You're not really enduring it. Do you really think pretending like this will actually bring Satoshi back? Just stop it already. Satoshi, he abandoned you. The fact that he hasn't shown up to save you now is proof, isn't it? So just stop it. Please stop being weird and pretending to endure it. Forget everything we just said. Understand? If you tell anyone else, your teacher will be very mad with you. She sensei gave me a warning, then left to go back to the teacher's lounge. Keiichi, please don't think Satoko is pathetic, pitiful girl. She's living life. I know that! She's our irreplaceable friend! Satoko is still trying her best. Let's watch over her a little longer. The person from the consultation center said they'd visit periodically from now on. If something terrible happens, they'll help her right away. Yeah, but only after it happens. Any more than that would have sounded like it was picking a fight, so I firmly swallowed my next words and went back to the classroom. Mion and Reina were talking to Satoko like they always did. It was a silly conversation. A humorous, even fun one like it was any old day. If Satoko really said she could still endure it, maybe I should do as Rika-chan said and watch over her. Maybe whatever help I offer will just go unwanted. Maybe we're not getting to Watsunagashi this episode.
I don't think it's over.
No, I know it's not over, but I don't think we're getting to Watsunagashi this episode.
Yeah. We might have a club activity.
Okay, why don't we all have lunch? I don't think anybody's going to be in a mood to have a club activity.
Yeah, and Satoko's been leaving really early, too.
It's been a while!
Here, here. Come on, you two, Kei-chan. Bring your desk over. Satoko brought her own desk over as well, grinning broadly. Even knowing nothing has been resolved, this exchange was pleasant and made me remember how fun it used to be. I can't have Rika making a bento for me forever. I don't mind. I have fun making your bento. Rika-chan's such a good girl. Having such a good friend must be so reassuring. I put it in the big steak, and Satoko puts in the burnt stuff. So if it was just Satoko, it'd be so sad, so very sad. Nipa. I take it back. Well, she's Rika-chan after all.
Hey, come on, look! I've got almond rice today! Mushrooms and stuff are delicious, delicious! Oh!
I say it every time, but your craftsmanship is splendid. You could become a wife whenever and not have a problem.
Oh, wife? Wife? Eating? Wife?
Wait, what?
Ooh!
Rika? I mean,
Using the word
Reina.
wife is totally forbidden around Reina. Please don't say it again. I'll think about what I've done. A little. By the way, what's in your lunch, Mion? Looks different again today. We're all waiting in anticipation. It's a rich assortment of side dishes left over from what my uncle brought last night. The stew looks really great, huh? The color of the radishes, too, really good, right? Wow, it looks delicious. Stew tastes best when it's left overnight. This looks like it'd be really good. There'll be none left for Satsuko. I'll eat it all and tell you what I think. Just be quiet and watch.
What was that?
Hand over my portion too. Now we'll punch and punch. Use my knees too. Already are. Hurrah! Oh. At close range like this, my advantage is unwavering. Keiichi-san, the daikon in your portion tastes really good. Damn it! Coming right for me from the start using a combo attack! How humiliating. This little exchange, how long had it been? Looked like it ended up going to the wait and see approach, but maybe her uncle had realized he'd gone a little too far and would dial it back now. If her treatment improved a little, would that be a good thing? Satsuko was grinning wider than I'd ever seen as she chomped down on her mouthful of the daikon she'd plundered from me. Did it really taste that good? Satsuko was somewhat cute like that. And just as I'd done many times, I grabbed her head and started petting it. Catch! Smack! Flip flop! Clatter clatter. Huh?
Satoko-chan!
It was so sudden that for a moment I didn't know what had happened. The back of my hand was stinging. I went to pet Satsuko's head and then she hit my hand? What's wrong, Satsuko? Satsuko was scratching at her head as though a pimple or something had appeared on it and become itchy.
Oh.
So sudden, so unprovoked that I didn't understand what happened. What's wrong, Satsuko? At some point her body had been covered in a thin layer of sweat, and her breathing had turned ragged. When I pet her head, did she not like it? Was that what it meant? Hey, did you dislike being petted? Once again, slowly I held out the palm of my hand and brought it close to Satsuko's head. The instant the palm of my hand touched her head, there was a shock like static electricity and Satsuko began to howl. That's Liam! She grabbed my arm in both hands and as if flinging off a snake trying to cling to her. As if trying to throw away something dirty, she threw it violently. It happened too suddenly for me to react. I hit the desk behind me and both it and I fell to the floor. The classroom fell deathly silent. As Satsuko bellowed, it sounded like she was in the throes of death and she unsteadily backed away. Then she threw up the food she'd just eaten. She vomited it all back up. Splish splat. The sound of Satuko's vomit hitting the floor rang through the classroom. Are you okay, Satuko? You seem sick. I reached out a hand, she swatted away with all her might. Such extreme strength that I fell onto the floor again. Satuko put both hands on her head as though protecting it, groaned some more, and took a few steps back. She began swinging both hands around. Students in nearby seats were forced to evacuate. She grabbed anything within reach, bento boxes, chairs, threw them, tossed them, and flung them about. Wait, stop it, Satuko! What's wrong with you? He! She screamed out as if Mion's words has caused her physical pain! No one spoke a word to her. All the students were withdrawing behind us, leaving Satuko alone in the corner of the classroom. Around her, their desks and chairs all over the floor, bento lay scattered. It was terrible. All I could hear was Satuko's ragged breaths and the voices of the cicadas. I'm sorry. Strings of tension loosened around Satuko. Maybe she suddenly grew scared of her own actions because she started trembling and gave a word of apology. But nobody knew just who that apology was directed towards. So for now, I decided to answer as everyone's representative. No, it's fine. Are you alright? I'm sorry. Words didn't matter. Words didn't match each other at all. Satuko hugged her shoulders and back she went. Bang! She ran to the locker with the cleaning supplies in it. Even that made her give her a little yelp. The impact caused the bucket atop the locker to fall, making a loud sound, and that scared Satuko most of all. She almost jumped out of her skin, grabbing a bunch of the curtains in her hands. Nobody spoke to her. They could only look, not even remembering to blink. I'm sorry. It wasn't me. Satuko. What on earth? I stood up, took a step away from everyone, and approached Satuko. What happened? I said, I don't know. You're wrong. Please stop. Please forgive me. Just calm down. Satuko, do you know who I am? No more. I hate this. Every time I took a step forward, she grasped the curtains more tightly and cried out. Satuko, it's me. It's Keiichi. Don't you recognize me? I would never, ever hurt you. No! Wah! Come on, calm down. It's alright, I'm your friend. Help me! I don't want to be scared. It feels bad. No, I don't want. Suddenly my shoulders were grabbed and I was dragged backwards. It was Reina.
Sorry, Keiichi-kun. You'll get a little further back.
After putting me back, she ran towards Satuko in my place.
It's okay, Satuko-chan. There's nothing to be scared of. Please, don't worry.
No more of that. Nini! Help me! Nini, help me! Wah! As she gripped the curtains and kept calling for Nini, she continued to wail about being forgiven for something and to be saved from something. What is this? Mio gnashed her teeth and groaned, and there were tears falling from her firmly closed eyes. The hell? What is this? Didn't this all come to an end yesterday? Weren't we all supposed to go back to our old lives? Mion! Crash! There was a crazy sound. Reina had taken the cleaning supply locker and kicked it down to the ground. Everyone stood surprised at Reina's unexpected act of brutality. After that, Reina embraced the bong Satuko from behind and started crying with her, stifled. Reina, what's wrong?
Sorry. Keiichi-kun, be quiet for a minute.
What is it now? What happened? What did Satuko tell you? What did you hear?
Shut the hell up! I chose you to shut your mouth, asshole!
Reina's raw, hostile emotion hit me like a brick. It was no more than a momentary howl of emotion for Reina, but it was more than that for me. She had shown me what was behind all that emotion, what was in her heart.
Oh, Satsuko, John.
No more. What? Forgive us.
Forgive us. We couldn't do anything for you. Forgive us.
Nini.
I'm sorry. Oh.
Forgive us for being unable to do anything. Reina's words made me feel as though the blood vessels in the back of my head were suddenly all turning to ash. My vision grew distant, blurred with gray, and all the world lost its color. I thought we could save Satsuko. But though I knew it'd be the sooner the better, I thought there was no time limit for doing that. I never even dreamed that we could be too late. I'd been making a huge mistake. I thought Satsuko could be hurt, but never that she'd break. It was such a huge mistake. People, they break. Thinking that they don't is absolutely absurd. We needed to save Satsuko. We needed to save her before she broke. That fatal lapse in awareness had brought this on. Whose fault was it? That went without saying. Mine. No, ours. We all took on the duty of saving Satsuko, but we were negligent at the point of laziness. In that sense, this was an inevitable result. Even if this didn't happen today and it happened tomorrow, or the day after, or next week, we would have just sat around doing nothing until that day. So this was the obvious result. I slumped down to my knees, just as Mia and Rika-chan had done. And I too closed my eyes tight, and I couldn't stop myself from sobbing. But what is all the noise about? Wait, what's happened? The teacher came and her face screwed up at the terrible spectacle before her. The instant she realized the teacher was here, Satsuko went through another complete change. She wiped her face with the curtains and, like nothing had happened, smiled. Hojo-san? What on earth is going on here? I just got into a little squabble with Reina-san is all. We went a little crazy over our lunches. Right? Reina didn't nod in reply. But then, since Satsuko wished it, she nodded without strength. The rest of the class couldn't keep up with her extreme changes. We all just stared in a daze. It was just a little horseplay. I scared everyone out of their wits. Satsuko would probably sweep the whole thing under the rug. For what? Her heart is torn to pieces, so what? What else? You wanted your Nini to help, didn't you? Unfortunately for you, Satoshi doesn't ever intend on coming back. It's never that easy. He won't just conveniently show up and save you. So you don't have to wait for him anymore. You can cry, beg for help, you can run away. Why?
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 Maybe he got an idea.
I don't think so. It's just, game over, yeah!
God.
We can't do anything. Miyun suddenly said. She spoke then, those few words that had tormented me countless times. Those words were a spell, and when I heard them, my whole body suddenly regained its calm. My emotions all slipped away like they'd never been there, like a wave departing.
Oh no.
And then the world's color flipped inside out. New song?
Yeah?
My field of view expanded. My head grew remarkably cold, and I felt like my mind's volume had grown even wider than the classroom we were in. At the time, my soul was doubtless no longer in a small petty vessel in my head, but floating in the air a little bit above it. It was a mysterious feeling of release. I broke free of the confines of my scope and stretched out to my roots in all directions as far as I wanted to. It was a strange feeling, and I'd never wanted to feel it before. An odd sense of exhilaration, my sharpened senses, caused me to transcend. My
My mind was sharper than a knife's edge, and I immediately decided that spending the time to let myself be crushed with grief would be an absolute waste. I erased all the garbage information from my brain. I expelled the pointless emotions representing obstacles to action. Kneel.
Curse it all you want. Curse our powerlessness as much as you want. Huh? If I could have taken back what had happened to us by crying out, I would have cried all day. The fact there was nothing it turned out. Couldn't take back what had happened. Top priority then would be to prevent the situation from worsening further to the seven things of misfortune. Until today, I've been looking at things that narrow-mindedly that was scarcely believed.
Are you gonna get like?
Save Satoko, the only thing to do was to save Satoko, the only thing I thought about. I didn't allow myself to realize the most basic directions or a certain way to removing the source of Satoko's unhappiness.
No. Actually, I realized it yesterday.
Those are the means. Relied on some stupid curse for some dumb deity. Never considered carrying out the task myself.
Oh.
I would obliterate Satoko's uncle. There are plenty of ways to do it. This was a task that held infinite methods. Ironically, the method of saving Satoko required mostly money, but the method of killing that man was pretty much took no money at all. I could kill him with the least amount of investment. Least amount of money suited him. That was the only way of his life. I kept eliminating needless, worthless information from my head and replenishing with only the knowledge I need to achieve my goal. I used every cell in my brain to think about how I'd kill him. The way I'd kill him didn't matter. I'd allow any method from whatever time, from whatever country, as long as it ended in a quick and certain death. If I were to have additional condition, we did not get caught. Moving him was an act designed to return the peaceful times we had to Satoko. If I was arrested in exchange for the removal, we might as well have killed each other. With only him gone, we'd go back to our normal lives. It was my supreme objective. My ultimate goal. Kill him.
Definitely.
But definitely don't leave evidence either. Two alternatives at odds with one another. The addition of not leaving a trace back to being automatically narrowed to the number of murder methods. No witnesses was an absolute must. Fortunately, given the right time and Anamizawa, there would be nobody around. Dun, dun, dun. I mentally reconstructed the land around Satoko's house and the bowers that were on the side of the screen. And the Joey's face that was at the bottom. The number of pedestrians, different at different times. The movement algorithm of the neighbors. Would I lure him out or charge at him? What would my weapon be? When and where would I carry this out? Where? It needed to be somewhere I wouldn't leave a trace. When? Maybe as soon as possible for Satoko's safety, without wasting even a millisecond. This is absurd. Completely absurd. When I thought about it this way, it struck me how easy the act of killing was. If I could leave evidence, I was just gonna kill him! Anyone could easily turn into a murderer! But our reason prevented that. I told us doing so would get us arrested for sure. In the end, being arrested by the police was the final thing preventing people from committing homicide. Absurd. If we went all the way out to the very middle of the ocean, wouldn't leave any trace at all. Anyone would drop to the hands. Those they hated into the depths of the internet. It was all too easy to simply remove him. I could leave class right now, grab a metal baseball bat or something from the schoolyard, go to his house and attack him. Estimated time would be 25 minutes. If I wanted us to kill each other, it wouldn't even be minutes. You're doing it in 1,500 seconds. I mean, just how much this continued existence depended on me. It was nothing. I could expel him from this world within just 1,500 seconds after making up my mind. When I decided what to do, he only had 1,500 seconds. Actually, if I ran full speed to his house, that number would go down even further. But he was alive. He was still part of this world at this very moment, heading towards Satoko's body and mind to shreds. Why? Because I was letting him live. I was permitting him to live, so he was alive. If I rescinded that permission, he would be evacuating this mortal coil within 1,500 seconds. That I'd let you live to breathe for 1,500 seconds more of air. Taking that permission back, right here, right now. You better thank me for letting you live until today. However, I actually need more than 1,500 seconds. That's gonna end you. Getting back our old lives is far more important. It's only you'll be cleanly cutting out of this world. They won't find a culprit. Forget that I dirtied my hands on the likes of you as naturally as I brush my teeth before bed. So to do that, I'll make a special exception for you and give you more than 1,500 seconds. I'll give you special permission to keep on living as you have until I can construct the perfect plan for your murder. Wait, Keiichi. You can't let that time go to waste. Yeah, I know. I'll kill him quickly. I'll remove him with certainty. I won't misuse any time to think of a plan. Think back. Tomorrow is Tatarigoroshi, isn't it? Last year on the night of the Tatarigoroshi, her aunt died. Her head was busted open by some deviant, and her brains splattered everywhere. That's it. He's someone who deserves to be given a death on the night of the Tatarigoroshi. Hey, Orishiro-sama. You call yourself a guardian, but you didn't protect Satoko. Cursing Satoko's family for the damn stuff is your own business, but now you've made Satoko unhappy when she didn't have anything to do with it. I, Keiichi Marabara, hereby denounce you, the guardian deity of Namizawa failure. We don't need you. Go back to the deepest, darkest part of your shrine this year. Besides, if you had just cursed and killed both her aunt and uncle last year, none of this would have ever happened. Curse this year, it's not on you. I'll be the one deciding. It won't be the three families controlling the serial deaths behind the scenes. No, not some vague people who I can't tell if they're buffoons or not this time. I'll be the one to deliver divine judgment. So don't get in my way. Just watch. Stay quiet and watch. I'll obliterate him. I'll wipe him off the face of the earth. I will stomp out his very existence. Go away, disappear, and die. I'll tear your heart out. I'll tear your heart apart just like you did to Satoko. I'll have your blood as payment.
Dude.
Things took a turn! For the murderess!
Keiichi-kun, are you alright? You've kind of been spouting a bunch of babble and denouncing Orishiro-sama. I don't know how I feel about that.
Rada, Mio, and Rika-chan were looking after me. I fell to the floor.
When did that happen?
You surprised us. You suddenly fell down. Were you having a nightmare? You were moaning. You were like, oh, oh. It was kind of adorable.
Oh, man.
Shut it! Quit speaking at me like that.
Ah, eep.
My friends gave a start and backed away.
What?
Red and the others, they exchanged glances, unsure of what to say, and stood confused for a few moments.
What? Was that your voice, Keiichi-kun?
Of course it was. Raina gulped firmly and opened her mouth.
For a second, Keiichi-kun, your eyes were really scary.
Oh, man.
My eyes. Probably just a trick of the light. Don't waste my time. I'm not mistaken. I've never seen those kinds of eyes before. What are these guys talking about? They've all been too scared of me lately.
You are Keiichi Marabara-kun, right?
Has Keiichi been possessed? Was Keiichi possessed this time?
Oh, man.
It's like, Orishirama's not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it myself, and Orishiro-sama's like, I am doing it. I'm you.
You, me, I'm you.
It's like,
Me,
oh no,
us.
you ain't me. You don't want to be me. What was Reina saying? What else do I look like except Keiichi Marabara? The look I gave her seemed to speak quite eloquently to those irritated thoughts. She understood and quickly apologized.
I'm sorry. Don't worry about it.
Dun dun dun.
Man. I want Keiichi to freaking kill the uncle, though. I'm like super hyped for
Dude,
that.
it's gonna go wrong. It's gonna fall apart. He's gonna kill someone else by an accident. He's gonna kill Satoko on accident. I'm calling it now.
Oh no, Blake! Why did you put that in my head?
1500 seconds.
1500 guys.
So we got emergency and D23 number 44.
I believe these are the
reports from
Yeah.
the 2 times. June 18, 1983. Abuse issues regarding Satoko Hojo. Urgent. We propose that Satoko Hojo must be taken into immediate custody based on the items below. 1. Family situation. Life with adopted father who recently returned to Namizawa has recently turned disastrous. She is currently subject to unendurable physical and mental abuse from the father. 2. Child consultation center's response. The child probation officer was dispatched yesterday on the 17th to the prefecture welfare office, but because the 77 case changed to continue coaching and cautionary action. Unfortunately, a consultation office head does not properly understand the situation. 3. Status of concerned child. Child already appears to be suffering from an outbreak of something close to neurosis or manic depression. If her unstable pubescent mind is negatively stimulated by stress, it would put her development of a healthy body and mind at risk. This cannot be allowed to continue from a humane standpoint. 4. Allegations made to the family court. We would propose, based on the above items, that Satoko Hojo could immediately be taken into protective custody. She should be secured temporarily under emergency allegations to the family court under Article 28. We request emergency coordination between all related agencies.
Alright.
I should have paid attention to the date to see which one would that... Pretty sure that was the one with the father. The adopted father. Yeah, that was the adopted father one. Alright, D23, number 40.
That was 1988.
It said 83.
83.
Yeah.
This is the one before.
Yeah. Child name, Satoko Hojo. Residence, Namizawa Village, Ishibone. Consultation circumstances. Telephone SOS. This is the first one. Telephone SOS from child of child abuse. Abuse situation. Child claims she's being physically abused by her adoptive father. Family structure. Circle marks abusers. Adoptive father, real mother, older brother, child in question. Now, adoptive father and real mother enter family registry in 19. We don't know when. Child is the daughter of the mother's previous husband. Child's consultation center is met. On the day of the child's telephone consultation, the center called the child's school and asked their situation. On the day, child welfare officer on duty visited the child's house and conducted an interview. The adoptive father sincerely listened to the instruction and agreed to take child raising workshops in the city from now on. As part of the suggested coaching, the center will continue to observe the situation. Other notes. As a result of numerous counseling sessions at the city's education consultation regarding the child, we learned that there was a high possibility the cause of the child's excessive distrust towards her adoptive father was a result of a lack of communication. The abuse she claimed hadn't actually taken place. She had made a false report to distance herself from her adoptive father. Below is a note written in pencil by the person on the duty at the time. The problem appeared to be more with the daughter. Chief Investigator F of the city's Education and Consultation Office said that most of her stories of abuse were likely fabrications. They decided to shift the focus of their coaching to the child. Be cautious not to take everything the child says as truth.
So, what I'm confused about is it says that her mom and her dad fell off a...
Yes, they died.
Yeah, they died.
It was her adoptive father.
So who is her real father?
Just someone that died previously.
Okay. So
I don't think her real father matters to the story.
So is her adopted father a Hojo? Or is
No.
her real father the Hojo?
Her real father's last name is Hojo.
Okay.
The adoptive father's last name was not Hojo, but she still kept her name. She still kept the Hojo name.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. I just wanted to clear that because that was like messing with my brain.
And your brain is easily messed with.
Yeah.
That hamster goes, "Wow! What was that? Let me stop this wheel for a moment."
Maybe it's not a curse, but just like...
I still think it's a curse. I'm gonna be stubborn, and I'm stick with curse. I'm sticking with curse. Keiichi's possessed. He's about to go on a murderous rampage.
You know what I was thinking though?
What?
That Satoko was playing another prank on her adopted father, and her mother got involved. And that's why
You think their deaths are on her hands?
Yep.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because it's the curse. They died to the curse.
Due to an unsteady
Cliff.
No. It was they were leaning up against a like fence or something. That's what it said.
It was the curse.
No.
It's the curse.
No. She loosened one of the bolts and was just like, woo!
Nope, it's curse.
Nope.
Sorry, man. It's curse. It's what Nagashi. They both died.
They both died.
They both died.
But one has to be deemed away.
They might have been teaming the way on the way down. Oh, sure, someone could let. No, I'm gonna catch this one.
I got you.
You're the one. Oh, you splat. You go splat. Now I got this one. Why is there sure someone that sounded like a Hispanic accent? Hey, Conchico, I've got you. Prepare to be teaming the way. I am Diablo.
Do you know the way?
Oh, now you're just mixing things now. You're getting everyone confused. Alright, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bro, but Keiichi fucking freaking out on us.
I do think this story is going to end on Watsunagashi Night. I have a feeling this chapter is going to end on the Nights of the Watsunagashi.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to come to a head. And I feel like maybe the epilogue would be like the aftermath after the night.
Yeah.
Of who's still alive after this night. Because let's see, who's going to die? Tomitake and Takana are going to die because, of course. Uncle maybe die. Satsuko will probably die. Keiichi will probably die. Because Keiichi always dies. Be 5 deaths in that night.